As parents, we have lots of questions about how we can keep our suicidal youth safe. Many of these questions concern communication. Youth, parents, service providers, and experts in suicide prevention have come together to share with us what they've found hopeful and helpful in their journeys, and to reassure us that we are not alone.
Communication is super important, really important. Maybe tough in the beginning, trying to figure out what to say, how to say it.
We become very poor communicators when all hell is breaking loose. So to learn some simple tools for communication in high stakes situations is really valuable. And there's many out there. Courses offered through community centers or through some family units and addiction centers that do provide exactly these skills and teach them to parents. And I think it better enables us to communicate with our youth in crisis.
I think once you feel a little more comfortable with your mental health issues, and once you understand them a little more, you're more able to explain them to someone, to other people, and to really understand what you need so you can get that, especially in times of crisis. You really want to put that out there so you can get the proper help.
Sometimes people will talk about those feelings expressing themselves physiologically. You know, I'm exhausted, or I've got a really bad headache, or I've got all these things going on in my head and I can't make sense and it has to stop. And can we be with the individual and say, okay, from what I'm looking at, those tears, are they of fear? Are they of sadness? And help and encourage a language that better articulates the experience they're undergoing at the time. Because the more clear you can be in how you're feeling, the more you can start to identify what your needs are. I need comfort. I need somebody to tell me they love me. I need somebody to tell me I'm a worthwhile human being. I need nurturing. You know, those kinds of things that we're not always very good at.
It can be very awkward communicating. However, it helps to know that when we're open to being vulnerable, we come into a place where we find that we're able to be vulnerable with others, and others are able to be vulnerable with us, and there's nothing wrong in showing vulnerability.
It gets easier to communicate, especially like between me and my dad. Took us a couple years to get it right, learning the proper tones of speaking, learning what to say and when to say it. But once you got that routine down, it really worked. It really helped me. Yeah.
When things are calm is a good time to talk about how can we talk when things are not great? How can we talk when we're kind of tumbling down the hill? How can we talk in crisis? And if you can establish some guidelines when you're calm and agree to them together and document them, then that can help take us through the difficult times as well.
With my daughter, what we did is we kind of developed a bit of a communication system, because when we initially found out that she was having suicidal thoughts, I wouldn't leave her alone, and I was like always on her, like, you know, are you okay? Like, how are you feeling? And at some point she just kind of went, Mom, you're driving me crazy. I'm not gonna do it. You know, don't worry, like go to the store, go talk to a friend, do something, right? And it was like, I had to reach a point where I had to just trust her that she wouldn't, you know, and we kind of had like a verbal contract that if she really was feeling like that intensely, that the thoughts were coming, that she would tell me, that she would let me know, like, no, don't leave me alone today, you know, or no, I'm okay today, like just go. So that was really helpful.
Even if you're talking maybe to a brick wall, it feels like, just having made the action, it's possible that it can be seen as a sign and then reciprocated later on.
And even when your kid's not talking, just because they're not talking doesn't mean they're not communicating necessarily. You can communicate via spending time together. Sometimes it's just the little things, and that's still communication, that's still being there.
Maybe they'll go to somebody else. Maybe they, have things they don't want to talk to their parents about, which is completely normal. So just respect that they know you love them, they know you're there, and they'll come to you if they think that you will help them. And then if they do come, listen to them. And it's really hard as a parent not to try and jump in and say, well, do this or do this. Why didn't you do this? But you just have to help them come to the course of action that's best for them and not try and fix them.
For me, I think one of the most helpful things was being able to have moments that weren't just being able to have conversations that weren't just about mental health or how I was doing or was I in crisis or did I need help, but being able to also check in about who I was as a human being and what my interests were, or just to be able to create space to just coexist, because it helped me establish that rapport and that relationship so that when I was in crisis and when I actually did need to or want to or felt able to reach out, it was a lot easier to do so because I already had established that feeling of trust and safety.
When people think about ending their lives, at some level they're feeling disconnected. They're feeling disconnected from the people in their lives, or they're feeling disconnected from the things that give them purpose, hope, belonging, or meaning. So communication is one way that we can help reconnect to our loved ones. And some of the typical things we emphasize is that when your loved one is in crisis, we want to just validate and accept however they're feeling. So if someone says, I want to kill myself, there's nothing worth living for, we just say, wow, it sounds like things are overwhelming. I'm so sorry you're feeling this way. I'm here for you. Just being there with them and accepting that dark place they're in and being together with them in that is therapeutic.
Visit the resources on Plio's website at plio.on.ca for more information on this important topic. And please reach out, because you know that together we can do so much to help our families move forward.